Okay, guys, what is up? This is your boy, the Sports Wizard, and I'm doing a tier list today. Starting it off, we got the New Orleans Saints. I'm putting them in the, I think I'm going to go mediocre at best. Yeah, we're going to, because, they kind of got a mediocre squad. They have pieces, but not enough to be higher than that. And next up, we got the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to put them in playoff or potential wild card. I'm going potential wild card. They got a good squad, but the AFC stacked, so, I just don't really know about them. They also could be trading Tyreek, and I'm not sure about Tua. And moving on to the Ravens, I'm going to put them in playoff team. I just don't think Lamar can get them over that hump, and that's why I'm putting them in playoff team. If he could have, he would have by now. Next up, we got Cincinnati. I think they're a better team than Baltimore. They got a better QB, and they also got cap space to get a good defense this year. However, they also got to retain both of their receivers to long-term deals. And next up, we got the Broncos. I'm going to put them in playoff teams behind the Ravens and Bengals. This is because they're good, but they're not elite yet, so I can't put them any higher than where they're at. I love Bo Nix as a guy, and, all that good stuff. And Giants, they're awful. That's pretty self-explanatory. But actually, I'm going to put them in young and intriguing, because if they can get a Shadur Sanders, then they got some potential. And Vikings, we're going potential wild card, because they're an alright team, nothing crazy, but they're pretty solid. So I'll put them there, especially with J.J. McCarthy. I don't really know how he will fare, but we'll see. I'm very high on the Rams, especially with Matthew Stafford coming back. He's like a top 10 QB in my opinion, so I think that's very reasonable. Super Bowl contender. Buccaneers, I think they're the worst team in that playoff team, but I do still think they're better than the Dolphins and Vikings, teams like that, because I think Baker's pretty soft. Mike Evans, even if they lose Chris Godwin, they're still going to be good. The Lions, they have a great team. They sign all their guys to extensions. They're not to worry about. They're favorite, undisputedly. The Chicago Bears, I'm going to put them in potential wild card. If Caleb Williams can take that next step, this is very possible, in my opinion. And 49ers, I'm not Super Bowl contender. Nah, I'm going to go playoff team, because they got the roster. Injuries just killed them last year. And this year, if they're a little healthier, I can see them making a run at something. Eagles are Super Bowl favorites. They won the Super Bowl. No explaining to be done there. Now we got the Raiders coming up here. I'm going to put the Raiders in the missing playoffs team, because they're going to have a good year, just not a wild card year. And now going on to the Packers, I think they're pretty good. They got good QB, good roster in general. And, I like this move. I like how they've been doing these past couple years. And now we got the Bills, Super Bowl favorites. They should have made the Super Bowl this year, but the refs kind of effed them up. And, so they're Super Bowl favorites. And above all the other teams, I think they're the best team in the league. Oh, and the Cardinals, missing playoff team. They're not going to make the playoffs. They got pieces, just not enough to make anything happen. We talked about the Vikings already. I'm just moving some stuff around. We're putting the Commanders in Super Bowl favorites. The Deebo Samuel acquisition is not even crazy, but they were top 4 last year, so I think they'll do that again. Maybe even win it all, who knows. Falcons, potential wild card. I agree with that. They're nothing crazy, but if Michael Penix Jr. can pan out, then I can see him being pretty solid. All right, now we got Seattle. I'm going to put them in potential wild card above Chicago under the Vikings, because they got pieces. And if they keep Geno Smith, they'll always contend. I just don't know if they'll make the playoffs for sure. Now we got New England. They're going to be young and intriguing, so, they could make a playoff push. It depends on their offseason. So, when we revisit these rankings, it depends on the offseason. Now the Cleveland Steamers, they're number 1 pick. They're horrible in every phase of the football. They're going to lose Myles Garrett, their only good player. And so, they're cooked. Cowboys, they're still a good team. Don't forget, this team was pretty solid last year. They got a new coach, but injuries also really hurt them, so I think they're still solid. And Texans, I'm going to go playoff team under the Packers, because they're pretty good, just not elite quite yet. So, And now we got the Chiefs. I don't think they're Super Bowl favorites. They're losing a bunch of key pieces in free agency. They got Trey Smith back, but they're not going to be able to do too much else besides that. So, now we got the Los Angeles Chargers. And I'm going to put them in playoff team. They were a playoff team this year, and I don't see why they wouldn't be one next year. They got cap space, so that'll be pretty good. The Jets, I'm putting in potential wild card. They can get Cam Moore, trade up for him. They can make some stuff happen. They got a good coach, all that good stuff. The Panthers also have a chance here because that whole division's pretty not the greatest. So if they can put some wins together, they can do some good stuff. Yeah, the Titans are horrible. That will be number one pick contention again because, yeah, of course they will be. Oh, wait, what happened here? Okay, we're back. Yeah, so that was kind of weird. Now we got the Colts. I'm going to put them in mediocre at best. They'll probably have Anthony Richardson. I personally think he's solid, but I don't know if he'll be able to lead them to the playoffs. Jaguars, potential playoff because, they're all right, just not the greatest, so we'll see how it pans out for them. Off-season depends a lot on how they'll do this year. Steelers, I'm putting them in playoff team. I'm going to put them right behind the Ravens. Yeah, I think so. Because they could be better than the Ravens. It just depends on what they do at QB. They get Daniel Jones, they won't be, but they get Justin Fields. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.